China's TP1000, the country's first large unmanned transport aircraft capable of carrying a 1-ton payload, successfully completed its maiden flight in East China's Shandong province on Saturday. According to Associated Press developed under Chinese civil aviation standards, the TP1000 has a maximum takeoff weight of 3.3 tons and can transport 1,000 kilograms over a range of up to 1,000 kilometers. Equipped with an intelligent airdrop system for emergency relief operations, it is expected to enter commercial service by 2026.
正向正常放飞。
Russian TV on Thursday broadcast footage which it said showed soldiers in a retaken town in the Kursk region. According to Associated Press, the Russian Defense Ministries claim that it recaptured the town of Sudza, a Ukrainian operational hub in Kursk, came hours after President Vladimir Putin visited his commanders in Kursk. The claim could not be independently verified. Ukrainian officials made no immediate comment. The Russian TV footage showed soldiers posing for a photo on the outskirts of Sudza and damaged cars on the side of the road to the city.
Сделайте, выстроите логику, цепочку. От этой точки до туда постепенно. По 2-3 человека.
Вот этот весь сектор уже все. Вот наша уже группа, вот.
Так, сейчас в центре суток. Пакет. Технику. А потом уже личные вещи. Уже тащили.
In the 3 years since Russia began its full-scale invasion of Ukraine, many Russians have become deeply ingrained in the ideological narrative of Russian dictator Vladimir Putin and nationalists that Moscow is waging an existential war against the collective West, led by the United States. Russia's relations with Washington have been softening under the administration of President Donald Trump, causing discontent even among the Kremlin leader's staunchest supporters, the Washington Post reports. The publication's journalists conducted a survey among the Z community, which includes Russian war correspondents, ultranationalists, and supporters of the war against Kiev who want the complete enslavement of Ukraine. Many of them said that they do not want Russia to agree to a peaceful settlement of the conflict unless it leads to the removal of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenski and a change of power in Kiev. It is noted that Putin has to keep an eye on this active part of Russian society, which has grown stronger during the war against Ukraine. Journalists recalled that in 2023, this grew into an open uprising after a short-lived mutiny by the former head of the Wagner PMC mercenaries, Yevgeny Prigozhin. The publication emphasized that the Kremlin often used turbo-patriots to promote propaganda of the need for a bloody war against Ukraine. Some of these people are fighting against Ukrainians at the front. The downside of the turbo-patriots is that they have also become a rare source of criticism of both Putin and his government's decisions. They will likely not agree to a 30-day truce with Ukraine if the Russian leader goes for it. A senior Kremlin official told reporters that there will certainly be Russians who will be unhappy with the normalization of bilateral dialogue between Russia and the United States. There is a significant part of society that says that it is afraid and will not be satisfied with security guarantees if Ukraine simply continues to exist, he said. The Z community is increasingly unhappy with the fact that Russia is improving relations with the US. Military bloggers and nationalists call the proposed ceasefire an attempt to steal victory from Russia. The publication recalled that nationalist writer Zakhar Prilepin did not support the general delight of Russians over the quarrel between Zelensky and Trump during their meeting in the Oval Office. It is important how combat-ready the Ukrainian armed forces are. What is the situation with the Russian Orthodox Church in Ukraine and whose soldiers are roaming around Kyiv, Odessa, Kharkov, Kramatorsk and Kherson, which, according to our constitution, are part of Russia, he wrote. Discontent is also growing among the Russian military. A former fighter of the Wagner PMC said in a conversation with journalists that not all soldiers understand who they are actually fighting. According to him, America does not want a strong Russia. Haiduk, the commander of the Russian intelligence unit fighting in Chasiv Yar, told reporters that he wants Russia to defeat Ukraine and destroy Zelensky. He stressed that Russians will have to accept Putin's decision if he agrees to a ceasefire with Ukraine, but it will not be done with broken hearts. According to Gaiduk, the positive aspect of the war is that Russian society is returning to what it should be. Previously, Vladimir Putin was too European, too Western. Now Putin is returning home to the bosom of Russian civilization, he explained. A former Putin aide told reporters that hardline nationalists in the military and security services see enemies everywhere but have little influence in the Kremlin. He believes they will not interfere with Putin's efforts to restore diplomatic ties with the United States or negotiate a peace deal. Nobody in the Kremlin listens to the opinions of these layers of society. They use them when necessary for propaganda, but in reality they have very little real influence, Putin's former aide assured.